Shops on Old Trail in Shamokin Dam is the perfect place to spend an afternoon shopping for antiques, collectibles, vintage items, and artisan pieces. There's so much to see. Let's take a look. Well, we are actually in this booth here, and we're celebrating Christmas in June, not Christmas in July. We do Christmas in June here. I'm with Mike Campbell, and Mike, you have the coolest Christmas booth. And why don't you tell me a little bit about it, because you were actually in the Christmas tree business years ago.
Yeah, I started collecting about 35 years ago, and what turned into, oh, there's a box of ornaments, turned into an obsession.
It sure did, which is great.
And then next thing I know, here it all is. A lot of the stuff is dime store. It was Woolworths, McCory's, because that's where everybody, the average American, bought most of their Christmas from. So we have a lot of stuff from like Grant's and Montgomery Ward's, and a lot of these items are still brand new.
They
still
are.
in the pack.
It's amazing. And like, you know, those stores bring back so many memories, don't they?
During the war, when we were at war with Germany, a lot of the glass ornaments were coming there, and Woolworths were the first ones to introduce the glass ornament to the American market. During the war, that got cut off, so we had to come back to the United States, where the Corningware, they picked up a lot of the glass production. Also, a lot of technology as far as plastics was developed, so then a lot of companies came in and they started making plastic ornaments. After the war, then it went to Japan, and they started flooding our market. So, you know, I have an array. We cover basically about every decade from like the 40s up to the 70s.
Behind you are some fun pieces. Like on the wall, there's a bell and a Santa Claus.
Again, that was new technology. It's all styrofoam. Yeah.
I remember having a styrofoam Santa Claus my family had on the wall, but yeah, those were really fun. I never thought of that because they were new technologies. So that's, you know, everybody had to have something like that. So those are fun pieces. And you have an array of Santa Clauses. Yeah,
a lot of these were made in Japan. Again, the elves, they're basically felt and cardboard. Really nice pieces.
They really are nice pieces. Like, there's a lot of detail in everything, right?
A lot of
little miniature detail.
Yeah. And then too, when I was collecting, as a collector, I always look for stuff in the original packaging, and that's what I still have. A lot of it here wasn't even used.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is a neat piece right here. It is a paper door cover. They're hard to find. A lot of them, again, they were thrown away. They were used once or twice. They probably were out in the weather and they were discarded. But here I happened to find one. I don't think it was ever used.
And I was just going to say, it's in amazing condition, and there's not a rip in it.
No.
Mike, I really love these because as a child I loved these. What are they called? Is there a name for them?
They call it honeycombing. It's basically tissue paper. A lot of it was made by the Bastille Company in Pennsylvania.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I did not know that. So they actually come flat like that, and then you open them up.
And then you just open them up. And a lot of them were just table decorations.
Yeah.
Real simple.
Or some bells that you would hang up.
They had the bells
paper
as
bells.
well. Yeah.
These are in amazing condition.
Again,
for paper.
I don't think they were ever used.
Crazy.
When I collected, like I said, I just looked for that stuff that was basically new or in the pack.
Check this out. You have wrapping paper.
Yeah, wrapping paper I found.
This is in the package, never used. It has to be like, what you say, maybe
60s or 70s, late 60s, early 70s. Yeah, and it was from Grant's, the department store.
Crazy. So. Fun stuff, Mike, fun stuff.
Yeah.
Mike, thank you so much.
Oh,
we
you're
had
welcome.
such a great time in your Christmas booth. Oh, you have some great things.
Great. Yeah, we're the only Christmas booth in this complex right now, so it's easy to find me.
Terrific. Thank you. I'm sure everyone's going to want to check it out. This is great. Thanks again.
You're welcome.
I'm here with Lucinda, and she is one of the owners here at the Shops on Old Trail. And you're going to give us a fun overview. You're going to take us on a little bit of a tour, right?
Yes, I am.
Let's start with this area here. Maybe point out some of the highlights.
Okay, we have this vendor. Now they did just bring this item in. This is actually a 1948 pedal car station wagon. You can see it's been well loved. It's one of the ones the kids used to get in. It has the old metal pedals in that you
This
push.
has a station wagon?
Yes.
I've never seen a station wagon, so that's kind of cool in itself.
So you can put Big Brother here, little sister in the back, and go for a
absolutely.
ride. So yeah, they just brought in. That's very cool. You don't see many things like that around that survived all the years that it's been around. Back there we have a child's guitar they brought in recently. He always has some really awesome lamps, and he has anything from the Looney Tune glasses. He also has lots of old lunch boxes, the tin lunch boxes.
Yeah, those are fun. I like the fans, the metal fans, the oscillating fans.
Yes, the vintage fans, the little kerosene lamps. The younger generations are getting into the kerosene lamps. They like to come in and purchase them in different colors for their collection. So he has a lot. And he is working his booth on a weekly basis, so they always have something new in their space.
When you come to a shop like this, if you see it, you have to buy it, because when you come back,
do.
it's not going to be there.
Exactly. We have lots of buyers' regrets when they come in. They see something and they always think, well, should I buy it? But we see too also, Jackie, the younger generation taking interest in a lot of the older stuff where, they didn't in the past. Now we see that, they're coming in and they're actually looking for things that their grandma has.
Yes.
I think, okay, they're taking this home to make their own and create their own stories.
Isn't that great?
And it's going to be passed on maybe to their kids someday. And it's fun. It's really fun.
It really is.
Yeah.
Listen, now let's talk about some of the highlights here in the shop.
Okay. Some of the neat things I see when I walk around each morning, turning the lights on. I love to look at what's here. We have some really old vintage samplers back to the early 1960s in very good shape. They're framed, both beautiful in any home. We love to see and, tell people you can use, your decor. It can be more modern, but you can mix some of your antiques and vintage in with it just to give it more of a, personal touch of your own. What speaks to you when you come in?
Absolutely. I was reading something about how it's very popular now because everything's cookie cutter and everyone's kind of tired of that. And you kind of want to add a little piece here that makes your house unique, that no one else is going to have.
Exactly. Also, another thing that's very popular now is old cookbooks. We have old pictures and old frames, beautiful old frames. And we also have a section where we always have some old quilts. Usually they're in we call our little parlor area. There's a love seat that was my mother's mother's mother's.
Wow.
And it has the red velveteen on it. So we like to highlight some of the vendors, the old quilts back there. They're very popular. And we've even gotten quilts in here that have the little signature from way back. They would sew it on. Right. And people are on the lookout for those also. So we feature things in that little, what we call our little parlor area.
And it's fun because you can make some old things new, and this is a great place to pick up pieces like that.
Yes, it is. We have vendors that will go out and find old items, vintage items, and they use artistic abilities to upcycle them and turn them into, you still have the upcycled piece, but turn it into a new artistic piece.
Absolutely. And it's inspiring. If you find a treasure here, maybe you can make something like that.
It is, and we do encourage people to do that. We do have an area where we have, some fabric and we have some little craft items there. And we also have a lot of new home decor too. So we have something for everyone if you're looking for a gift, whether it be an antique gift, a vintage gift, a new home decor gift. You can find it all here at the Shops on Old Trail.
Here at the Shops on Old Trail, it's a mother-daughter team, Emily and Lucinda, and we really had a great time today. Thank you for having us. And Emily, I know people are going to want to visit, so why don't you tell everybody where you're located?
So we're located at 3314 North Old Trail, Schmoken Dam, PA. We do have a Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and we just have a new website that just launched.
Excellent, excellent. And I know you're having a special event coming up, and what is that?
Yes, on Saturday, June 27th, we're doing our 250th anniversary of the United States of America. So we're going to be having some free hot dogs and chips and some refreshments, and we're also going to have lots of sales throughout the store, and we're giving away 2 huge gift baskets, all Americana themed.
Oh, what a fun event. I know people are going to want to stop by. I mean, what a great way to celebrate, right?
I know.
It'll be a great
fun.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for having us, ladies.
And thank you for coming. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.